Riding on the street versus riding on the dirt. Alright, so what is the difference? So mindset wise, there's a vastly different mindset from riding on the road and riding on dirt. When you're on the road, I would say 95% of the threats are cause of things around you. You know, you yourself aren't a threat to yourself, something else is a threat to you. I think like 95% of the time. Yeah, if you're going to be hitting twisties and really pushing it, then that number goes up for you being a threat to yourself. But like I said, I do think that most of the time the threat is an outside influence of some sort. So with that being the case, you're riding in a much more defensive manner, because you have to try to predict and avoid other people's negative actions rather than focusing on you doing the right actions quite as much actively. Obviously you want to do that too and put yourself out of harm's way and all that sort of stuff, but there's less of an emphasis on what you do to keep yourself safe from yourself than it is keeping yourself safe from others. Whereas a dirt bike, assuming you're not riding with stupid people, because generally you can choose who you're riding with, right? I mean, unless you're in a park, I guess an off-road park, then you can't really choose who you're riding with. But for the type of riding I do anyway, where it's just trail riding with my friends, I can trust all my friends. You know, it's part of the reason why they're my friends. So I know they're not going to purposely hit me or run me over or do something really stupid for that to happen. Now, mistakes happen, so I wouldn't be surprised if someday I got hit by a four-wheeler or whatever from one of my friends, but that's just not necessarily their fault. It's just because something happened. But anyway, so then what your focus winds up becoming on is trying to keep the bike upright, because off-road, like, okay, on the road, a motorcycle pretty much does its own thing. I mean, you're not really gonna fall over unless you know, coming to a stop, unless something happens. But just riding along, assuming that you don't hit anything or nobody hits you, it's very hard to tip a bike over. But a dirt bike is a lot easier to tip over because of logs, especially ruts, you know, tire spin at the wrong time. So there's like 1,000,001 ways to crash a dirt bike. Because of the fact that there's no cars and stuff to be potentially killing you, the mindset has to be a lot different. Instead of being a very defensive rider, you have to be a very offensive rider and build your skills and your techniques to try to combat any situation that you might find yourself in before it happens. You can't really react to things, because by the time you could react to it, you'd crash. Whereas on the road, the only option you have generally is to react to stuff. You know, there are some ways to be offensive, like proper lane positioning, you know, finding ways to alert somebody of your presence, but whatever. I mean, it's just not as prevalent, I think, as riding a dirt bike. So with a dirt bike, you're constantly scanning ahead, trying to pick your line. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying you're not doing these things on a road bike. I'm just saying it's to a lesser degree. So on a dirt bike, you're scanning ahead, trying to pick a line, you know, a good route that won't make you fall, won't make you stall your bike, won't make you just otherwise expend a lot more energy and have a lot less fun than otherwise. That's the whole, so that helped me, I think. It helped me learn how to ride. I mean, obviously I knew how to work a clutch and gears, so I didn't have to learn that for a motorcycle, which was good. You know, I remembered how to do that. The only problem is that I don't think I was old enough to really push a dirt bike to its limits, and I didn't have a powerful enough dirt bike to really learn how to ride a motorcycle, because, you know, the TTR 125, you know, it's a nice bike. I think overall what riding both on-road and off-road does is it gives you the responsibility of, so riding on-road helps you for off-road too, I think, because you gain, like I was saying before, you gain those defensive skills of being able to react to things, I think, a little bit better. Because on a dirt bike, like I said, you're primarily kind of offensively acting toward things, whereas a motorcycle, it's a little bit more reactive. So, and like I said 3 times now, they all do crossover, but so like I said, they all do crossover, but mainly riding on-road helps you for off-road. I think what that gives you is, I think it just gives you a lot more experience than you'll ever get just riding a dirt bike. Because if you're commuting on your motorcycle, riding at thousands and thousands of miles a year, you can be the most serious dirt bike rider, but anybody with a full-time job is never going to have as much time to ride a dirt bike as they do an on-road bike, assuming that they're willing to commute with it and all that sort of stuff. If you only ride your motorcycle on the weekends for pleasure, then yeah, you probably could theoretically ride it the same amount as a dirt bike. But otherwise, if you ride it any more than that, you're probably, I think in most people's cases, you're definitely going to ride a on-road motorcycle more. And so I think overall that just gives you a certain amount of, you just become really, really used to the work on the clutch and the gears, and you know, you have to have a certain amount of tenacity to be riding your cars all day. And so I think it gives you it just gives you a certain level of riding expertise that riding just a dirt bike will never do. Just because you're dealing with so much more. I feel like, yeah, that you have a lot of ruts in the roads and all that stuff, but I feel like riding a motorcycle, just the amount of threats are doubled. Potential threats are doubled. Immediate threats are actually probably reduced a lot, but potential threats are doubled. So with that being said, I think it just trains your eyes to really scan around and look for things more, whereas on a dirt bike you're kind of focused on that one trail, whereas on a motorcycle you're looking out for everything all at once. And so I really think overall, I think they both complement each other. If you have the physical ability and the mental want to ride a dirt bike and ride an on-road bike, I really think that they both keep you safer doing the other one. I truly believe that. Maybe I'm... So, anywho, that's a long enough vlog. I will be back with some more vlogging. I got a lot of videos coming up. Actually, this will probably be posted after any of the videos that are coming up. But anyway, goodbye. Have a nice day. I'm going to enjoy this 60+ degree weather. Peace.